Hi, I'm recording this video because I made a video just recently, just now, and it was too long. It was over 15 minutes, so I'm going to get to the point. Bottom line is I've been harassed in multiple homeless shelters. I made a video catching the people in the Bethel Hotel in St. Paul harassing me right there. As soon as I came in and sat down, they made false allegations and barred me and told me I wasn't kicked out, as the video shows, but I was. I was barred. I don't know how long. He didn't tell me. He just told me I was barred, but I was just barred from 2013 till now. But here I have this Lopez waiver right here that I preserved from San Diego, from the San Diego Sheriff's Department. I have this. You see the case number, CD 273485, has my name. They try to get me to sign this Lopez waiver in order to retrieve the Fourth Amendment, probable cause, which they violated my probable cause, and they illegally extradited me from San Diego, California to Rochester, Minnesota. They illegally extradited me, and this is one of the illegal documents that they used, which I didn't sign it. They said that they told me that they were going to kill me if I didn't sign it. They made multiple threats, things like that. They came into my room multiple times looking for it. They took me to blind spots in the jail, which they have camera footage. It can show you how they searched my legal work, because I had to represent myself. I was my own attorney in my criminal matter, which I was brought to jail for a vandalism that I didn't commit, but I was so wrongfully mistreated that I tried to plead guilty in order to be released from jail, but they didn't release me. They ended up having this extradition proceeding afterwards, time later, which lasted 6 months past the normal 90-day procedure. And I have this document here as proof that they tried to coerce me to sign this. They told me they're going to kill me and things like that. They said they're going to throw me into the room with a psychiatrist and send me to Patton State Mental Hospital. All type of allegations and threats and things they said to me, things like that. I mean, they tried to starve me some of the times. They didn't feed me my food on every day. They gave some of my food to my next door neighbors. They threatened to throw feces and stuff on me. I ended up having to clean up other inmates' feces and urine because they overflowed the toilet from upstairs and made all their, feces fill up in the pipeline, and it overflowed into my cell. So those are some of the things I had to bear. I got burn marks on my body still I can show you. And this is this document that they try to force me to sign, which is a legal document. It's a Lopez waiver to waive the rights of an attorney, but in an extradition proceeding, there is no attorney standing there with you. They forced an attorney to stay with me, violated my right to challenge habeas corpus. I wasn't able to challenge habeas corpus. They waited like maybe 12 days, maybe roughly 12 to 15 days, maybe less than that, before they were supposed to legally release me on the streets of San Diego, California. They didn't want to do it because I had so many lawsuits. They stripped me naked, handcuffed me, and drugged me across the ground on camera. They said I was a sex offender. They said I had scabies and things like that. I can prove by the camera footage how they wrote those things on a marker, with marker on the window that I was in the holding cell I was in. Trying to receive medical assistance, which I was denied. I mean, they checked my blood pressure, but they put me in a room and left me there for a couple of days and transferred me to George Bailey Jail or Correctional Facility, something like that. I was originally in this downtown Central Division Jail, and they sent me there, and I was wrongfully mistreated and things like that. And they try to, after all this stuff, they try to force me to talk to a psychiatrist so they can lie and say that I was mentally ill and put me in State Patton Hospital for an indeterminate life sentence, pretty much, because that's what they would do. That's what they do to people like that in that situation. They give them an indeterminate sentence if you're committed to Patton State Mental Hospital in San Bernardino, California, or Riverside County, I believe it is. This is this document. It's a transcript of it. The judge made a transcript of it, read these lines that you see checked here on each document. Then she asked me on record, she asked me, where did I do it? What did you do with that document? You see here is the end where they wanted me to sign. There was a series of illegal documents they tried to get me to sign. One of them was take 6 years, 6 years to life, or was something like that. I'm not sure. And I know that I would have ended up with 18 years of life. They tried to get me to agree that I had some strikes when I have a point score of 0 here in Minnesota. I don't have any strikes. I don't have any violent crimes that would contribute to me being a violent offender or that would give me a strike. Because apparently, if I did, I mean, they would have, would have pressed down on the issue. They would have never had to try to coerce me to sign to those things, agree to them. And I just want to put that on there on the camera just so you can see this document, illegal document here. It's a Lopez waiver from the Superior Court of California, San Diego. They tried to get me to agree to. They said it says it says here that it says I understand. This is not what I'm saying. This is what the form says. It says I understand that I am charged with the following crimes. See, I was never taken to jail on this offense that they claimed that I had, so therefore I was not even eligible for extradition. A person have to be a sex offender or a person registering for arson, and that's the only way that they would have to. They can extradite me from California to San Diego is if Minnesota had those offenses or I was charged with those offenses, some kind of statute that makes me eligible for extradition, which I wasn't. They violated my Fourth Amendment. So this would be a case that I probably have to take up with the Supreme Court. And this is that document. I wanted to make a video of it and put it on YouTube and make it shorter than 15 minutes so I can go ahead and upload it without any issues and problems. Just like my last video I just tried to upload. I had some issues because it was rejected because it was too longer than 15 minutes. But this one here is, I got 6 minutes now, 7 minutes. So I'm pretty sure if I end this video shortly, it'll upload with no problem. I'm hoping that it will before I can leave, before the library closes. It's 4:15. I've been harassed by every homeless shelter that I stepped foot in. First Covenant, Salvation Army. I was punched while some guy was standing behind me, and that was on camera. The Rochester, Minnesota police, sheriff's department or police department. They ended up shooting a couple rounds at me about 3-4 years ago in some guy's backyard down in Rochester, Minnesota. That they've been trying to cover that up, and that's why I was subject to this harsh treatment in California, because I'm pretty sure they wanted that to go ahead and, stash me away so they can cover that up. But the truth remains, they did shoot at me a series of rounds at each balloon while I was putting up balloons in the backyard of some guy's house. I noticed that there was a lady there, a black woman, and she changed her story when the police came, but she admitted they're shooting at us. And she started running just like I did, so there. Also, there was a series of shootings over on the West Coast, continued in the gay neighborhood in San Diego, Hillcrest, which they ended up shooting out of somebody's window at a bike shop in that gay neighborhood. There was a shooting that occurred in Oceanside, California. And I noticed that when they took me to jail for vandalism, that they did the SWAT team that was out there, or the group around the police that were out there, they told me instead of looking on the ground level, I should be looking up on at the roof. That's what they told me when they took me to jail for a crime that I didn't commit, was the charge of vandalism. So I mean, pretty sure they probably thought I wasn't gonna prevail over that situation, but that's probably why they said those things. But now I have this document here to prove that they illegally extradited me and tried to force me to sign this Lopez waiver here, which I'm pretty sure, everybody knows it's illegal because it's not involved in extradition proceedings, and also they try to have a mental health evaluation in that extradition proceeding, which is that's illegal too, because the only thing I'm contributing is the Fourth Amendment, not the 14th. So this is my video. I just wanted to put that out there before I leave and make this video lesser than 15 minutes so it can upload with no problem. And I'm the guy that made persecution of the witness is separated in 2 parts, because I believe the police tried to attempt to edit the video or something like that, to where they end up making 2 parts to one video, which one was 48 seconds and the other was roughly 5 minutes. And they separated. They didn't want the white lady that harassed me at this homeless shelter, Bethel Hotel in St. Paul, Minnesota, to be seen on camera running away from the camera after I pulled my camera out. And that was the first time I spoke to the lady, was when I pulled my camera out, because I've been subject to a lot of harassment, to where if anyone's belligerent with me, says that I'm stupid and things like that in my face, I go ahead and record them. So that's my video. This is what I have. Thank you. My name is Michael Keith Dandridge, and today's March 9th, 2019.